In 1908, over a very remote region of Siberia, there was an incredible explosion. I'm sure many of you have heard of it. It's been referred to as the Tunguska air blast. It changed night to day as far away as England. It took a long time for people to get to the region, but what they found was basically Armageddon-like destruction. Trees flattened for miles. Even to this day, there are places where trees still don't grow, which seems kind of strange for just a meteorite explosion, which is what they have categorized it as. Here's one of those locations. Now, during my research into these Pentagon structures that we are finding around the world, I found something that ties to this. And it starts a very long way away, a place called Deception Island. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are like, wait a minute, that's way down off the tip of Argentina. How could that have anything to do with what happened in 1908 in Siberia? Well, strangely enough, that same year, Great Britain decided to lay claim to Deception Island. There were a lot of different governments that had wanted it and used it, but they declared it to be part of the Falklands dependency and said, this is ours, everybody leave. Now, the reason they call it Deception Island is because from a distance it looks like a normal island, but when you get close you realize that there's this little inlet on one side and it's entirely hollow, and it's a volcano caldera. It's also a source of fresh water down there, a large source of fresh water, which is very strange. But it's a very key location. Now, what do the two have to do with each other other than, in that same year, this strange action by the British? They line up. There are structures along a line between Deception Island and the region where the blast took place that are pretty undeniable, and I'd like to share those with you, along with some new locations that I think that they're going to explain some things that have been going on in the world recently. I've tried to clean the networks up a little bit so that you don't see very much red. The green lines are networks that begin or originate in South Central Latin America. Purple is Africa. Black are the DC parasite networks. And we're starting to get in over to Asia and this region, and they will be in kind of a tan color. Now wait until you see this. We're going to start down here. Deception Island is right here on the tip of the peninsula, the Antarctic Peninsula, right by Argentina. It's not hard to find. And as you can see, it's just this ring. Very odd shape for an island. Now the satellite that took this picture picked something up. And I want you guys to look closely at what it picked up on the ocean floor here. This ring. We keep seeing this shape over and over again. The entire thing looks like it's the very top. The volcano itself has a pentagonal shape to it. But there's something else going on here too. And I wanted to share this, and I really want your guys' opinion on this. At first I thought, oh, there's just this little rock out here. Guys, this isn't a rock. This isn't just the tide washing up on the shore of something. If I didn't know better, I would swear that was a submarine or something. This isn't just a natural feature. I have no idea what this is. And I'm open to any speculation on this, because whatever it is, it's disturbing the water here greatly. So much so that the satellite picked it up as if it were an island. Now, let's get back to that line we were talking about. If you take a line from Deception Island all the way down here in Antarctica and draw a straight line, you'll pass over a very strange place in South Africa. We're just going to call it an anomaly for now, but it does have that shape. But we're not going to get too caught up on that. Through that anomaly, you end up, of course, in Djibouti. This is where we have revealed that DC has a secret base that was brought to light by Strava, the Fitbit aggregator. And of course, when we drew all sorts of lines out of here, we found it correlated with all of the networks. But if you continue the line through Saudi Arabia, you end up at a location in Iran. And it's not an easy one to find. This is a very, very tiny place. But once again, it is unmistakable. And the line goes straight through it. So we have Deception Island. We have a very strange pentagonal shaped structure in South Africa, going straight through this very, very remote region in northeastern Iran. But it continues. And if you follow that line, it takes you to the exact site, and you can look up the site of the Tunguska air blast. Now, I very much doubt that you're going to find anything in this region that would remotely resemble some type of structure because of the nature of the blast. It was catastrophic. I mean, it would have completely incinerated any city on the globe. It was that big. There wouldn't be anything left if there had been a city here. So once again, like I said, you can draw a straight line between any 2 points. And you might get lucky and line up 3 things, but we've lined up 4. And one of them is so small, the chances of hitting it are almost nothing. One of the other things that I wanted to share is there's been a new location discovered. It's in Argentina. And once again, it is incredibly remote, and we found it using the techniques of setting up networks, following the angles and the sides, and it goes right through them. The angles on this are pretty unmistakable here. And does it go anywhere? Well, it sure does. He goes straight out here. Guess where it ends up? Easter Island. Teeny tiny little spit of an island that of course continues on to the French Polynesia network that we covered in the last video. But you draw that straight line this direction, and it ends up in Ethiopia. This very clear pentagon out here. But it does something else, and it correlates to another story. You're not going to believe this. Some people have speculated and said, you know, it would be, if you could master this network, a great way to give the appearance of omnipresence, seeming to be everywhere all at once. But you could also spread mayhem around the globe like nobody's business. It's been one of these things that people haven't been able to explain, how sometimes diseases can just appear around the globe instantaneously. Who remembers our investigation into Ebola? Does anybody remember where it started? Well, it started at, of course, the Catholic parish of Mangina, but the original big outbreak was in this city named Beni in the DRC. Now, I would like for you to look very closely at the shape of the city of Beni. I haven't drawn a pentagon around it just because I wanted my audience to see it. Between Ethiopia and the pentagon that we found in southern Argentina and Easter Island and French Polynesia, guess where it ends up? Tokyo. And I'm sure if I continue this through, I would find that this ends up going right back. You ready for this? I haven't drawn the line yet just because I wanted to do it with you guys. Here's the Pentagon in India. So I'm going to go ahead and do this just to show you how you do it. Up in the upper left, there is a thing, there's a line of commands: File, Edit, View, Tools, Add Help. Select Tools, and this little white box will pop up. And you have all sorts of different things that you can select. You select Line, and then you click the map, and all of a sudden you have a line. And then you can zoom out, and you can take your line and sure enough, perfectly straight line. And then you can connect it like that. Now this one we are going to give the tan color because it starts in India. So we're going to select that. We're going to add a little thickness to it so it's easier to see. Like so. And we're going to call it Tokyo, India. And that completes the line. So Tokyo to India, all the way back around. All of these networks connect. It's truly an incredible thing to see. But 13.5 minutes, I will leave it there. I have a Google Drive location that I am putting all of this work at, and I'll put it down in the description. And all you have to do is go there, import that file to your version of Google Earth Pro, and you will get all of this. It will lay down all of the lines, all of the locations, including all of the old stuff from Antarctica. So I will leave it there and hope that helps. God bless y'all, and we will see you next time. Thank you.